Hey there, welcome to my channel, Any Occasion. My name is Rob, and in this channel, I'm going to go over everything you need to know for non-alcoholic beverages if you're exploring this space. And in each episode, I'll review a new beverage. In today's episode, we're going to look at Spiritless. It's a mixer, Spiritless Old Fashioned. Um, and if you've watched my first episode, the intro one, for the framework of this market, I've given you 5 categories: beer, wine, liquor alternatives, social elixirs, and mixers. This falls into the mixers category, which is kind of impressive given it's not alcoholic. Yeah, let's take a look at this. So this is with Kentucky 74 Spiritless. I'm actually doing this before I've left the review for their liquor alternative, which is pretty good. So I feel pretty good doing this. But this comes in at 45 calories, 10 grams of sugar. So it's let's see, Kentucky 74, citrus twist, cane sugar. Pretty straightforward. That's what it is, outside of the preservatives that they put into this. So um, let's go ahead and do this. Now, if you've watched my videos to this point, they've all been beer, so the reviews have been pretty high for the most part. In this space, it gets tricky, because you could think liquor, almost half the thing is half the drink is alcohol, 40% or whatever like that. So it's hard to get it good, right? When you're trying to recreate that. But let's take a look at this. So this is supposed to be an old fashioned in a can. Let's try it out. Now, I tried it once before. I'm gonna try and not let that cloud my judgment here. I'll give it a fair shake again. But let's try this out. So it says pour over ice. That's just what we're gonna do. And right off the bat, it's got a nice color to it, right? Let's see, we'll hold this up a little bit closer. A nice color to it. I like the appropriate glassware and ooh, it does have a nice little thing coming off it, aroma, and the ice cube. So also, when I'm drinking liquor alternatives or something nice, part of the enjoyment is the experience, right? The ritual of the occasion. And so I like to have the nice glassware. It looks nice. I got a bar cart full of non-alcoholic drinks. But that's all part of the experience to me, especially when you're talking whiskeys and you're talking these liquors. It is part of the experience that makes a difference for me. So anyway, that's why I've got the nice glass. I've got the appropriate ice cube in here. And I'll tell you right off the bat, it's better than it's better than the first time I smelt it. I could smell the Kentucky 74 coming off this, which is distilled non-alcoholic liquor, and I'll talk about it in a different episode. But it's really good for being an alternative to mimic whiskey or bourbon rather. So anyway, let's try here. So off the nose, again, I'm gonna say this. You're not going to get that smack in the face, like attack of alcohol, obviously, that you get on the nose. With alcohol, you just don't get that. It irritates your senses, and all the everything just gets like amplified is probably a good word for that. Just gets amplified, and it's really enjoyable, right? And it's like complex and kind of a cool experience. You don't get that with the non-alcoholic liquor space. So the first company that does that, you're going to be, rolling here. So you don't get that. But what you're left with is the flavor profile. And just like any bourbon or whiskey or liquor out there, and I'll stick with the whiskey since that's what we're doing, bourbons, just like any of that, there's different flavor profiles. They all got their own unique flavor. So that's what you're left with. And they're intended to be mixed with something, which is why these companies in Spiritless already pre-mixed this for us to just pour over ice. So now that that's out, use that as a framework for which I'm talking about this. On the nose, I smell the Kentucky 74. It's distilled. It's got the bourbon flavor coming off it, like an oaky flavor coming off of it. Which is nice, but it also has very sweet, like that cane sugar coming off of it too. So It's it's okay. Um, it's not great. Doesn't suck. It's okay. Um, you can get. I think the best way to describe this is a familiarity to. Oh, this kind of tastes like it could be an old fashioned, which is probably as close as we're gonna get at this stage in the non-alcoholic product development. Um, I've tried. Old fashions are really hard to mimic. They're just hard because you can get the orange and kind of the cherry or the bitters, and I don't taste bitters in here. There probably isn't any bitters in here. So what you're left with here is kind of this like sugary drink that has notes of that orange twist, kind of like the cherry that you get with the old fashioned. So you know um, I honestly, I was a little let down. I am a little let down because I was really excited about, hey, if these guys are gonna mix it, like let's see what they do. And I personally, no offense, Spiritless, but I think I can make a better, not old fashioned, with your product than this. So um, I hope that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. But anyway, it's okay. On a scale of 1 to 5, I'd probably give it a 3 maybe, because you can, it's got a pleasant smell and it's all right. They say to pour it over ice. It's a little watered down, but not much. But what I'm left with, it's really like sugar that I'm drinking. So yeah, I don't know. That's where it's gonna be. So you could try it. If you're like an old fashioned snob, I don't mean that in a bad way. I really that was my drink of choice. And let me be clear, if you're still drinking alcohol and you try this compared to an old fashioned, you'll give this a 0. But if you're not, if you're sober like me, I mean, you get familiarity, so there's value in that for someone who just doesn't drink. But I'll give it a 3. You try it out, give it what you will, but that's where it is for me. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.